What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here's Legitical Response, and we talk about the First Amendment all the time. The Constitution of the United States of America. They put in the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment, for crying out loud. It's the first one. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion. All those things are the basis, the foundations for our country. That is how our country has evolved, based on those factors, right? You can say whatever the hell you want to say. And for the most part, those rights have been upheld throughout this country's history. But recently, with the advent of social media and the internet and information being ubiquitous everywhere, just all over the place, you can just Google something right quick and find out more information than you could have ever have dreamed of 40 years ago, right? Like, before the internet, you'd have to go get an encyclopedia and read through this thing. Like, it was really hard to get information, and these days it's really easy. You got social media. You can just go on YouTube and look up just about whatever the hell you want to look up, right? We got Wikipedia, we got all these websites. So we've got ubiquitous information, essentially, nowadays, and somebody can tell us something, and then we can instantly go and research and look it up and see if it's true or not. Well, the Supreme Court has just dealt a blow to that, if you will. They have dealt a blow to the First Amendment. I'm not sure we're going to recover from it. That may be a little bit hyperbolic, but, judge for yourselves, if you will. Check this out. Supreme Court sides with Biden administration in landmark censorship case. This is just insane. This is absurd to me. This is actually offends me a little bit. I've talked about this at length, ad nauseum, that the White House, the FBI, the NSA, all these government agencies have backdoor access to the social media companies and can talk to these people and communicate back and forth, and absolutely have been shutting voices down on social media, on X, on YouTube, all these social media companies just shutting people down if they just say something that the government happens to not like. And, this was exposed a couple of years ago. RFK Jr. has a lawsuit currently going on. That's the one we're going to be talking about today, proving outright that the Biden administration, the White House in particular, was shutting voices down on social media, like contacting these people. And this is just one of the most egregious violations of the First Amendment I think I've ever heard of, right? Like, to shut voices down, like for the government to be coming in. Sorry, folks, it's raining. For the government to be coming in and shutting voices down, like the government needs to stay out of this, right? Like, information, and their argument is, oh, well, it's misinformation, right, about COVID, about other stuff. Well, information, like I said, is ubiquitous. It's all over the damn place. If you hear somebody say something, you can just go look it up and find that information. As a matter of fact, X and YouTube, they have community notes, informational tabs, like on YouTube, where if you're talking about a certain subject that's controversial topic or whatever, they'll have a little thing right below the video for abortion and all these other issues or whatever, right? You can go and click on it and get the official information. All right, so what's the need in shutting people down? I have no idea. Right? They're doing this. So if somebody says something that is not true or is just their opinion, why have the government come in and shut these people down? It makes no sense to me, right? They're talking about... Okay, well, I'm sorry, folks. Our electricity has gone out, and it looks like it's going to be out for a while. We had a storm come through, and that's why I've got this weird light. This is my phone light lighting up the vicinity right here. So we might as well just go ahead and keep running with it. I'm not going to be able to read the story out because I'm using my phone as a light. Yeah, I don't have a camera. I just do this all from two different phones. My old phone and my new phone. But anyway, so the Biden administration has been contacting. Of course, we know this. We've discussed this several times. We know that that's what they're doing. They're shutting people down on social media, and it's really, really aggravating, to say the least. It's maddening because who gives the Biden administration the authority to shut voices down on social media, right? Like, Who the hell says they can do this? Why are they doing this? They're calling it fighting misinformation. I know, blah, 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 blah. But once again, once you have the community notes and all that other stuff, then what's the point of shutting voices down? You got the information right there. Why not just roll with that? Why not let the social media companies take care of it themselves instead of contacting them and saying, hey, look, you need to shut this voice down. They're dangerous to society, folks. Like, no, the government doesn't get to decide that. If the social media platform wants to shut somebody down, allow them to shut that voice down themselves, because they're a private company. They have the right to do that. They can do that if they want to, right? Like, you can't tell me, you come into my house and you start running your mouth, I'm gonna kick you out of my house. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. There's no violation of the First Amendment. Nothing like that. It's my house. It's a private residence, just like the social media platforms. They're private companies. They can do whatever the hell they want to. They can set up whatever community guidelines they want. The government coming in and saying, hey, look, coercing the social media platforms to shut voices down is just wrong, in my opinion. But apparently, yeah, I read the story out earlier, and apparently it's a clerical error screwed this whole case up and is going to allow the Biden administration. Of course, they're gonna bring this case again. Of course, they're going to have different cases, because you can't just violate the First Amendment like that. It's totally wrong. It was a vote of 6-3, right? The 3 Supreme Court justices that voted to block the administration from doing this was Gorsuch, Thomas, and Alito. You know, no surprises there. I am really surprised, though, that they went ahead and voted in this way. But like I said, it seems to be a clerical error. The evidence for some of this was kind of scant. But we do know for a fact that the Biden administration was most certainly contacting the social media platforms and coercing them to shut voices down. You know, but they say it ultimately falls back upon the social media platform to do it or not. And they don't have to do it, right? But it's like, okay, I'm sorry, if you got the White House contacting you constantly, hey, you need to shut these people down, you need to shut these people down, what are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and comply with what they're saying, probably, right? Like, I know I wouldn't. And I don't see why these social media platforms will. Maybe they're getting subsidized by the government. I have no idea. And maybe the government was threatening, but we don't have evidence of that. So that is just outright speculation. But we don't know. However, I do want to quickly read Amy Coney Barrett's decision on this. Check this out. This is just mind-blowing to me. The plaintiffs rely on allegations of past government censorship as evidence that future censorship is likely, Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote in the majority opinion. But they fail, by and large, to link their past social media restrictions to the defendants' communications with the platforms. Thus, the events of the past do little to help any of the plaintiffs establish standing to seek an injunction to prevent future harms. So basically what they're trying to tell you is that just because the government has censored people in the past doesn't mean they're going to do it in the future. So that gives them the right to go ahead and do that in the future. That is bullshit. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said it's bullshit. Go ahead, YouTube. Shut me down if you want to, but it is wrong for you guys to censor Americans, average everyday Americans, right? Like, I'm getting censored into oblivion here, right? I used to get tons more views, right? I was growing rapidly, and then all of a sudden, boom, I just got cut off, and now I only get, 10, 20, maybe 30 views on my videos. It's utterly aggravating, right? I've thought about starting a new channel. I've already done that once because of this same issue. Yeah, I had a whole different channel. I started this one. This one took off, and boom, just all of a sudden. It's just mind-numbing, if you will. But I want to go ahead and read you another opinion on this right quick. In his dissent, joined by Justices Neil Gorsuch, Clarence Thomas, and Samuel Alito, wrote that the majority permits the successful campaign of coercion in this case to stand as an attractive model for future officials who want to control what the people say, hear, and think. It was blatantly unconstitutional, and the country may come to regret regret the court's failure to say so, he wrote. And I happen to totally agree with that. Just allowing the social media platforms to shut voices down is one of the most egregious violations of the First Amendment, right? Outside of actually the government coming in and shutting down like a protest or a church or something like that. It's just utter BS. And we need to write our congressmen and let them know how mad we are about this, right? Like, let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Should the government be allowed to coerce social media platforms to shut voices like mine and like yours down? Yeah, it's still storming, by the way. It's raining cats and freaking rats out here. Yeah, I know it's probably supposed to be cats and dogs, right? That's what you thought I was going to say, but no, that's not what I said. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here because I hate recording in these conditions. It looks weird, and, you know, this is just not ideal, I guess. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. This blows my mind. I'm very saddened by these findings from the Supreme Court. It pisses me off to no end. And like Alito says in this, I think the country is going to come to regret this very decision. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching. And like I said, I'm sorry, you guys. There's nothing I can do about the conditions. I apologize, but, you know, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, y'all. And y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.